big up everyone. It's your girl Sofia, aka Sophie, back on Sophia's Football Talk for yet another Man United upcoming game against Brighton. Would they want revenge? We'll talk about that and whatnot. But yeah, it's the match preview for the away game, Brighton versus Man United. I'm joined by Eddie from Eddie's Footy Waffle. How are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. First of all, thanks for having me back on the channel. It's always a good vibe on here.
No
And
problem.
yeah, we got to talk about if Brighton are going to be thirsty, just like Newcastle were after we beat them in the Carabao Cup. So got to
Yes.
look out for these guys.
That's a very good point. Of people, I do have linked Eddie's channel in the description box, so make sure you check it out. And this video, by the way, is streamed actually right now on both of our channels. So make sure you do like both the stream on both of the videos, right? Or both of the channels, I should say, and do like I said, show Eddie some love. Subscribe. He always shows mad love. He's been on the channel before, and it's always great to have him on. So share the love, people. Share the love. But yeah, we will, dive into the game. Let me just say hi to the comments. Big up Devils United. Macy, also do subscribe to her channel. A fellow United supporter. She knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. And we have Bart says Eriksen positioning as an auxiliary ball carrier was exposed against City in October. Okay,
Mm.
okay. I see you, Bart. I see you, Bart. It must be remembered that Erik Ten Hag hasn't been able to field his best 11 this season. Yeah, Dalot, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Anthony, Martial, Rashford. Yeah, hey, see your point.
You
That's
know,
why he
you know
needs some.
what? You know what,
Oh,
Sophia?
go ahead.
For someone that is an avid Liverpool fan, he does follow Man United quite a bit.
Oh,
You got all this
I,
analysis and stuff, you know.
Eddie, I was thinking, is this Bart? Is this the Bart? Because he's been on my channel as well, and
Yeah,
he's been honest about like he loves the whole trolling and what. And I'm like, are
yeah.
you a Liverpool fan or is it? Because I don't.
It's weird because he's on my channel quite a bit too. He
Yeah,
puts in a lot of these stats. Like he does a lot of
yeah.
research on us, man. Yeah,
You
shows like
sure you're
really
not a United fan, Bart?
yeah,
Bart, this is a safe space. We're not gonna judge. It's fine, Bart.
yeah.
But
But come
this
out of the
is
closet, mate. Yeah, just show
come out
your
of the
Man
closet.
United colours.
Exactly, Bart. Come on. You don't be ashamed. Big up to KFC and Ming. Casey says, I'm being honest, 2-1 Brighton. Mitoma and Ferguson are going to pocket Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. I mean, there's a reason why I had Wan-Bissaka and Mitoma in the thumbnail and, in a title like Mitoma versus Wan-Bissaka. Will Mitoma get revenge on Wan-Bissaka? Because Wan-Bissaka in the, you know, FA Cup semifinal, he had Mitoma wrapped around his finger. And I rate Mitoma. He's incredible, but he couldn't have a sniff. So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting. I mean, he was rested, I believe when Brighton, who did they play? They
yeah,
won like 6-0, 6-1
yeah.
against
Against Wolves.
Wolves.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he, alongside I think McAllister and whatnot was rested. I think they might have came on a bit later in the game. Regardless, they had a bit of a rest. Wan-Bissaka also rested and whatnot. But hey, they'll be cooking and that'll be interesting. Big up to Alumba. Says hello,
no,
Sophia
big
and
up.
Eddie. Awesome. Oh yeah, one. Okay, let's first and foremost, he's our fidget spinner. He's our Beyblade. Okay, how about that, KFC? How about
I
that?
don't even know why there's still the fidget spinner thing because we're not even seeing him do that anymore. Yeah, I think
Exactly.
he's retired. He must have retired that skill now. We don't see it.
I don't
I
see it
mean,
either.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ten Hag must have given him some kind of hair dryer to get him in line. I mean,
I think so
Ten
too.
Hag literally wants to see dribbling, but you must, like I said, okay, no more fidget spinning. You
Yeah,
got to do productive skill.
exactly. No, I think that, hey, that's a good point. But yeah, guys, get the likes up once again. Do subscribe. But Eddie, how are you feeling? I mean, in terms of the last couple of games, you feel good? Do you think that top four is that's said and done now, or do you think like okay, we need maybe one more or a few more games before we fully have that on the reps? Give your thoughts.
I mean, in terms of games that we got left, is it 5 or is it 4 games?
I think
I
including
think it
tomorrow, I
is,
think it
yeah,
might be 5. I could be wrong. I think it's 5.
Is it 5 games? Oh no, we played 32 games actually, haven't we? Oh, so it's what 6 games left, according to soccerway.com that I'm on right
Yeah.
now. Let me just make sure I'm right because I want to go into my point of view, but I want to make
Yes.
sure I'm
Of course.
talking sense. Yeah, we played 32. So 6 games left, and then we've got a 6 point gap on no, it's actually a 7 point gap on the nearest challengers, Liverpool, right? And a game in hand. So if we look at that mathematically, it seems like we need to win maybe like 2 or 3 more games. So
Yeah.
we've got a few games to play with. We've got to not be complacent. So
I agree.
I've got some confidence in that we've got some games that we can afford to draw or even
Yeah.
lose.
I
But
think so too.
at the same time, you want to have the urgency that you need to win every game. I'm sure Ten Hag's going to be like that because he always that's his mantra, or his saying. Got to try and win every game. So he's going to
Exactly.
be instilling that mentality in the players. I know we've still got injuries, but we've seen
Yep.
like even with our defense being weak, like Lindelof and Shaw. I mean, where's that tag team come from? I mean, it's like the blessing.
Yo.
It's been a blessing in disguise that we've had some injuries, maybe because we've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
that,
because other people have showed up, you know,
yeah, people have
such as
stepped
Victor
up.
Lindelof, who's kind of like been, the sidekick of White Maguire and whatnot over the years. So he's kind of been
Yeah,
dragged down with him in the gutter. But he's like, no,
yeah,
no, no, me by myself with somebody else away from Maguire, I'm actually decent. I'm good. I
yeah.
can hold my own. And that's what's been very nice to see that Lindelof is getting more of his flowers that he deserves, in my opinion. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I've seen Lindelof make some good headed clearances as well. Like we say, like with Maguire, okay, we there's a possibility that you could miss that presence in the air because he's just great at heading. That I think that's Maguire's best thing. But I remember Lindelof clearing. Yeah, he stopped Ollie Watkins in the last game from getting a volley. He got his head
Yes.
to the ball. That was in the second half. And I remember the Villa had a chance where I think it was either Buendia or
Uh-huh.
Douglas Luiz had a shot on goal, and Lindelof was on the line and he headed it clear.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't know
yeah,
if you
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
So
and I remember. I can't remember
yeah,
who it was with that shot, but I do remember like he legit saved like a potential goal at
yeah.
that point. So
So
big up
yeah,
to him. Yeah.
we don't really miss Maguire in the air when
No.
Lindelof is showing off with like
Yeah.
just headers like that. So I'm confident. I'm confident. If De Zerbi plays his plan A,
Ooh.
which we saw in the FA Cup semi final, we've shown that we can contain his team. I know we probably need a bit more control because I think I'm trying to remember the possession stats. It wasn't good, but every time they tried to play out from the back towards Enciso, Shaw came out from the defense and was just cancelling out the space and was making them go to the wings. They weren't really getting in great crosses.
Hmm.
Um, I seen a comment saying, "Was it Ferguson? Is Ferguson definitely back?"
That's what I'm also
Yeah,
wondering.
because we might
Is
have to
he?
be careful of him because I think he's got
Yeah.
better potential than the Welbeck. Welbeck seems to be that kind of player that blows hot and cold a little bit. He scored a great
Hmm.
goal against Wolves, but
He did.
I don't know. He's not that consistent. So if
No,
Ferguson comes in, he may be a bit more dangerous.
I think so
But
too. So it's more to be, that you have to kind of focus on, for sure. But it'll be
yeah,
interesting. I mean, I think, like you said, Eddie, that there are, with the upcoming games that we do have, I think some of the games you can afford to potentially draw.
yeah,
And for me, tomorrow's game is where I'm thinking, we might draw, and I wouldn't necessarily
yeah,
be opposed to a draw, if that makes sense. I wouldn't be very upset about that. I'll take it. I'll take it just because of how some of the people in the comments been mentioning. The Zerbi, he been cooking for Brighton,
yeah.
and they do be very good at home and whatnot, and we aren't good at away. That's something that we need to work a lot on for next season. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean
um,
that was like it's understandable that we have that. It's like obviously Ten Hag saved us from being a banter club of like last season. So even though we won a cup and we're getting top four, it's like that football has not been quite there, and you can see the steps that he's building it up in terms of we see a lot more high press, a lot more dominance at home. Our home record is like completely different to the away record. So you can see
Yeah.
he's building the confidence at home.
Yeah.
He's you know what I mean. He's getting the fundamentals done where it's comfortable. Where we're at
Yeah.
home, we've got the 12th man on our side.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
yeah,
Hmm.
as Ten Hag gets more of his players, obviously in the next transfer window, we're going to be able to be braver away from home to do the
Yeah.
formwork. Because
I
yeah,
think so too.
we've had to contain and counterattack a lot of the time when we go away from home. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're thinking maybe we might be good with a draw. I would say so as well. Obviously, we don't want to just go for the draw, but
No, I still want to
yeah,
go ahead and win.
yeah,
You
we have to
know,
try
like
and win, but we've got
100%.
to yeah, we've
But
got to
like
be
I,
responsible though.
yeah, you have to
Exactly.
go, like you said, you have to, with Ten Hag, go into the game with thinking like we're gonna take it a game by game. We're gonna go for the win. That's essentially what you want to do. But I can't sit here and say that, like I'm gonna be, with the Spurs game like that. That was annoying when we drew and whatnot. Sometimes it depends on how the game goes. If you are a goal or two up and then you draw, then that's annoying. But
Mm,
let's say they score first, we concede and whatnot, and we come back and we, have a comeback, we draw, then that will be a bit more different, and you'll be able to kind of swallow the draw if that makes sense, right?
mm,
But like you said, we would prefer a win,
for sure.
but it's the business end of the season, so I just hope it's not going to be like the game that we had, against Newcastle, where okay, we won the Carabao Cup final, right? We took the
Mm,
trophy, and now we took the opportunity from Brighton. I pray no slapping tomorrow, please, please.
mm.
I will take.
Yeah,
I
I
don't,
mean, it depends on us being fresh as well, because I think with that Newcastle game, we may have had less rest than Newcastle because they were just fresher, like all over the pitch. I think with the Brighton game, Brighton, they played on the 29th and then we played on the 30th. So it's only like a day's difference. So we should, in terms of freshness, we should be close to their level as well, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, I hope we get when we're on the ball, we're passing quickly. We can't be slow in transition, or we just get closed down because we know
Agreed.
with the Derby, he does like to play out of the from the back and sucker teams in so we can play balls in behind with the transitions that they have. But we got to be quick, and yeah, if the Zerbi's going for his plan A, we need to just contain them and just rough him up in the middle of the park. I mean,
Yeah.
Casemiro, we've seen him get his kind of dominance back since he's kind of was a little bit neutered from the his suspensions and
Yeah,
but
yeah, a bit shaken
against
up.
Villa,
I
yeah,
agree.
a
I
bit
felt
shaky.
last game he looked a lot more like he was taking a bit more risk,
Yeah,
and it wasn't. I don't know. I just felt like he's kind of shaking that away from. Hopefully, he'll could continue with that because he looked very good in the last game compared to the other
yeah,
games since his arrival and whatnot. But I
exactly.
get that.
So he needs to have a big game for us because
Yeah.
yeah, against Brighton, he was helped a lot by Shaw going into midfield and helping them to saturate that space. So yeah, we saw with Ten Hag's tactics, right? We saw against Brighton, he started off with like the kind of from what I saw, it looked like a 4-1-4-1, and then it changed into when Shaw went into the midfield 3-2-4-1 like that, right? So I think we've got to do this a similar thing, but this depends on whether De Zerbi changes his tactics. Is he
Yeah.
that kind of guy that is going to stick to his plan A and be stubborn like these managers like Pep and Arteta? Like, I don't know if you
Mm.
know if he's got a plan. Does he have a plan B?
That's what I also wonder. I mean, I watched quite a lot of Brighton games this season, but still, like, I don't. I felt like with when we played them in the FA, they just I just felt like we kind of nullified them when they were
Mm.
with Wan-Bissaka and whatnot. So it didn't look like they really had a plan B in that game.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe he might be a bit stubborn, but then again, like since you know from when we played them, which wasn't that long ago, just 2 weeks ago or something like that. You know, it's
uh,
it's a bit fresh. So maybe he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna need to do a bit of changing. But then again, they're home. it'll be interesting. But how do you feel like for you? How impressed have you been with Brighton this season? Do you think that they can potentially get uh, European football next season?
So next season, especially if they're gonna add players. This is the thing, though. Like, are Brighton in that position where they can just be stronger than a team that keeps selling their talent? I mean, we've seen recently they lost the likes of Trossard. There's other players that they've sold. They've been rumored
Cucurella, yep.
to be losing Caicedo. I think other teams have linked
Yeah.
him. He was a man in the match in the last game, wasn't he? I think he was the man of the match of the FA Cup semi-final anyway.
He
Because
was
yeah,
cooking in that game. I was
he
like,
was cooking.
my God. He
He,
was
he
just
just
waltzing.
he doesn't
Oof.
seem to like feel any pressure because that's a semi-final, right? Your first semi-final,
Yeah.
and you go in there like you're just playing an average game.
He was
He
just
looks
like,
so calm. Yeah,
this is usual. Like this is just, hey, another game. We go, we move. Wow. I,
exactly. So if they keep players like that, yeah, and then attract players to replace the likes of Trossard. I think maybe Enciso was a replacement for Trossard. He's been good,
oh
but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
need if they keep holding their big hitters, yeah, and obviously keep because Ferguson's been linked with moves away. I think United may be
Yeah,
linked with
we've been linked with
Ferguson.
him.
We're
Yeah.
linked for everyone anyway, but it's like they have to keep that kind of talent. I don't think they can keep producing it if they keep losing players.
Hmm.
It's like obviously football players are not just infinite. You're not just going to keep getting good talent. You have to keep certain amounts of talent at your club and keep progressing them in your system, right? You
Yeah.
can't keep refreshing it. It
Exactly.
spoils the chemistry, doesn't it? So
Very
if
good
they
point.
keep that chemistry going, get better players, and I would see them. They've got to set themselves an objective for like Europa League at least, like maybe conference, and keep building from there. So yeah, it really
Yeah.
depends if they keep the big players.
Yeah, because like I think don't they have like two games in hands on Liverpool? I could be wrong. Something in
Yeah.
that order,
So
right?
yeah,
So
yeah. I'm looking at the table now,
yeah,
Sophia. Right,
yeah, yeah.
Brighton played 31 games, and Liverpool 33 games. Brighton on 52 points, Liverpool on 56. So if they win the games in hand, can go 2 points ahead of Liverpool.
Come on now.
Wow,
I
but
hey,
there's two other teams in between there. Like Spurs have been quite bad there. I think they'll fall away. Villa's
yeah.
there. I don't know. I mean, we humbled them, kind of
And we
humbled them.
we we need to kind of big ourselves up because they've been on like a big momentum up until we definitely okay. It wasn't like a big scoring game and whatnot, but
Yeah. It should
hey,
have
we
been.
got the 3 points. It should have been. I agree
Yeah.
with you, Eddie. It should have been, but it was just kind of nice to see like Ollie Watkins not even getting a sniff in that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like you said. Like when it comes to us at home, no worries, we good. It's away from home that needs to be. I mean, I do feel like it's being addressed, and we need to, of course, uh, fix that a lot more for next season. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Could we potentially get a win tomorrow? That'll be a more interesting aspect for sure. Whew. But I'm a bit worried. Though. How do you feel? Do you feel very confident for tomorrow, or are you a bit like, yeah, I don't know?
I mean, I just want to get into like some of my predictions for the team lineup if I can, because that kind of links
Yeah,
to
one
like
hundred
my
percent. Yeah,
confidence.
I
So
have a. I do have a template. I can, we can just start predicting if you want to.
yeah, it kind of just links into like
Okay.
my confidence if like what I say happens, if you know what I mean. So
Yep.
in terms in terms of our team, right? I'm thinking because Brighton are going to have a lot of the ball, right? They're going to be trying to press us like back into our half like they did in the FA Cup. I
Yep.
think we really need some speed in behind,
I agree.
and that comes from your wingers and your forward, doesn't it? So
Yep.
really, I mean, we in the last game we started off with Rashford up front, right, didn't we? And on the wings, is it Sancho and was it
Central
Anthony,
left.
wasn't it? Right?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it was. I think Sancho. I mean, we know Sancho's not got the speed
Wait,
to
wait,
do that.
wasn't it? I just clocked it in the Villa game. Wasn't it Bruno on the right wing?
Oh, Yeah, Bruno was
And
on the
I
wing.
think, yeah. It was Bruno. I don't. Have
Yeah,
we? Have you and I talked about Bruno as a winger before? Because me personally, I don't really like him on the wing. Like he can do a job. I mean, he did score, but I just like him more in the middle. In that 10 or even the eighth role, but
yeah.
not
I mean,
necessarily as a winger. At least not starring as a winger. If we need to, make that change in the second half and move him to
yeah,
the wings, that's okay. But I don't like starting him in the wing. That's that's
yeah.
that's my opinion.
This is where I wish like Garnacho was ready. I mean, we heard in the press
Yes.
conference, Ten Hag was saying he's not quite ready for this game. Like he
Yeah.
signed a new contract, so obviously he's going to be playing some football in
Yep.
between now and the end of the season. And I
Yep.
think he ruled himself out of the under 21s World Cup or whatever it was. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't like Bruno on the wing as well. I'm not really. I like what Bruno's done this season,
Yeah.
right? In terms of helping us try and get the energy going, leads the
100%.
press.
Very flexible and versatile. Like,
Yeah,
he's just been like thrown everywhere. And he
mm,
just shows up, be like, I'll do a job. I don't care. Hey,
yeah,
I'll do it.
yeah. But in my mind, I just think if Bruno is like supposed to be this top center attacking mid, this top number 10,
Yep.
you shouldn't have been moved. You should have been like, that's your position because you're the best there, right?
Mm,
But then again, other people say, oh, he's shown that he's versatile. He's got more things to his skill set, so he can play other positions. I don't know. It could be either or, but yeah, we got to see him in the middle because we need speed on the
I think
wings.
so too. Yeah.
Bruno's not quick, and he can't dribble, so
Yeah.
we effectively lose a winger.
I
So
agree. We
yeah, if
need
we're gonna
somebody that has a bit of more of a pace
yeah.
and can also do a little bit of dribble. That's important.
Exactly. This is why I was saying, like, okay, Bruno, let's see him go back into his attacking mid position then, yeah?
Okay.
I want to, hopefully, we see that. And then we can have some speed on the wings with, I would say, bring Rashford from up front to the left,
Okay.
right?
Agreed.
That's what I would say. And then get Martial up front. He's got a bit of speed,
Yep.
right? Obviously, he's not as slow as as Veghorst. So,
He
he's
still
not,
has, some type. He might
yeah,
not necessarily have the pace like he used to potentially, but he still has some pace.
yeah,
There's something there still, I would
yeah.
say.
He's got some quick feet. He can run in behind.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just I think with Martial, it's part of it is his work ethic as well. He seems I don't like to use the word lazy, but he does seem
Yeah,
like that some of the times.
I
And
get
maybe it
that.
comes down to his player IQ as well. Sometimes he's not making some of these dynamic runs,
Yeah,
but
I see
maybe
that.
Ten Hag's working on that with him. I mean, we could see it in the
Yeah,
team. So
potentially.
yeah, and then right wing, it's like I don't think we've seen Palestri recently. I don't think we
Yeah,
confirmed in the team, but I
people
would
are
like to
mentioning
see
that
him.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonuma says Anthony can't cross. I would rather have Palestri.
Mm,
Palestri can play on the wing. Yeah, Bart, we know Palestri
yeah.
has been played on the wing, more so the right wing before, but he hasn't really gotten that many minutes so far in the
Yeah.
season. Come in as a substitute, but like you, Eddie, I would have loved to see more of him. I don't know, maybe there's more of a plan for him for next season potentially, or
Yeah.
you would see like Amad Diallo coming in and doing a job there as he's been ripping it up in the championship for Sunderland and whatnot. So we'll
Mm.
see. But would you then think? I mean, I feel like it would probably be Anthony, wouldn't it?
I
To,
think
to,
it's
to
going to be
pick.
Anthony, and
Yep.
I've got a theory which I'm surprised has not been tried by Ten Hag before because
Okay.
um, he likes obviously Ten Hag likes high press football, right? So um, you wanted to have people that can do the intricate passes. You want speed as well, and the fact that we've got Rashford, who he's not really a winger, like in terms of he's going to look to cross to the forward all the time. He looks to cut in and shoot, right?
I've noticed that
Anthony,
as well. Yeah.
yeah. Anthony's the same. I thought he'd be more of a crossing midfielder. He seems
I
to cut in every time he wants to do his
yes.
impression of Arjen
Yeah.
Robben. He wants to look for that top corner. We've all said it. So it's
Yeah,
like
I know.
I'm I'm surprised. And then we have Martial with the great link up play, right? And then he's not as dynamic with the runs in behind. So I don't know why we've not seen Martial as like the false nine, and then you have Rashford and Anthony as wing forwards that can cut in and
Ooh.
then they can be shooting all day.
Yeah.
Remember Klopp's old system with Firmino? and then Mane and
Yeah,
Salah
yeah,
move
yeah.
forwards, right?
That would
It's
be
like,
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't try that kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know?
Or maybe he's just trying to, I don't know. I feel like I think we would see a lot more maybe next season. Maybe he's just trying to be like, okay, let me just simplify what we need to do to get by in each game and whatnot. And then once I get more of the players that I want for next season, then we'll try to do a bit more of experiment and whatnot. It's what
Yeah.
I'm initially thinking, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
also comes down to like, I mean, for my kind of idea to work, we have to get control of that midfield a bit more. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously Casemiro is going to
That's
be
that.
in as one
Of
of the
course.
holding midfielders in there. It's a big question as to whether Eriksen starts. I remember
Yes.
Bart was putting in the comment about, Eriksen's been exposed in certain games. I
Yep.
think he mentioned Man City, wasn't it? He's
Yeah,
been
he did.
exposed. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't even see him do much holding in the semi-final for the FA Cup as well. It seemed like he was allowed to go forward, and then
Yeah.
Shaw went into midfield. So I think, unless Ten Hag goes for similar tactics as the FA Cup semi-final, he
Yeah.
he will go for Sabitzer to come in
That
instead.
was also what
Yeah,
I was maybe assuming, but could it potentially be a Sabitzer we would maybe see for tomorrow's game? And then you bring Eriksen in if you need to in the second half.
that could be an option. That could be an option because Sabitzer, we come on, we know he's more of a versatile midfielder than Eriksen, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say that.
yeah. Sabitzer could play in the wing, play number 10, holding
Yep.
midfield. He was like that before he came to Man United. Like Eriksen,
Yeah.
I don't think Eriksen even played holding midfield before he came to Man United. He didn't play
I
at
don't think so.
Spurs.
I can't
I think,
remember that he
yeah,
did.
I've never seen him play that. Maybe he did it at Ajax early in his career. Maybe I'm not sure, but
Maybe.
yeah, it's weird that
Yeah.
we've seen Eriksen there. But he's done some good games, so it's
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
debatable.
yeah, yeah. There's, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think sometimes like with that, his energy level can kind of seem to disappear a bit once you get to like mid second half and whatnot. But he's definitely had some really good games, especially when it comes to at home and whatnot. But maybe this could be like you said, potentially if you have Sabitzer, I would like to see even more that partnership between Casemiro and Sabitzer. That would be great. Because
Mm,
Sabitzer really had a good momentum up until remember when the first half of the first leg in the Sevilla game, right? Scoring 2 goals,
yeah,
bam, and then the second leg, I think he completely just, you know.
yeah. I mean, I really want to
But that was
see like
everybody though. But yeah,
I want to see more of a consistency to players keeping their position. But I do
yeah,
understand the experimentation because Ten Hag's trying to figure out where players are playing their best football. So that's why we've seen him tinker quite a bit.
yeah,
Because like if we're picking Sabitzer for this team, he's playing holding midfield as opposed to what the example you just said, where against Sevilla he was attacking mid, wasn't he?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like does Fernandez get tucked into holding midfield and then Sabitzer in number 10? It's like I'm not even sure now.
Mm, that's
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
difficulties when picking. Okay, who's gonna be where, yada yada yada. But would we say?
I
Should
mean,
we say?
Sabitzer's going to be more fresh, isn't he? So I reckon he's
Yeah.
more likely to play. I think.
Do you think that he will be more likely to play or not?
I think more likely, right?
Okay, I think so too.
I'm just trying to remember like the last game with against Villa. Sabitzer did he? I don't think he started, right?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
So
he
surely we
didn't.
go for freshness and yeah. So no,
Yeah.
Sabitzer did start actually.
Wait, wait. He did because
Uh,
Bruno was on that wing. He was moved to the
mm,
right wing, so Sabitzer did play. He
yeah,
basically had all of them in there. All the
yeah. I mean, I'm just
you.
trying. Sorry, just bear with me. I just try and look at like how much
Hey,
rest.
hey, no
I mean,
problem, brother.
so the last game was on the 30th. We'll play on the 6th. So it's quite about 5 days rest. So you probably could go with the same team against Villa,
He could.
or
I
like I
mean, he.
said, he just goes with the FA Cup team. So maybe I'm going all over the place with,
No,
with my.
no, no. Hey, hey, no worries. No.
I remember doing this last time when I came on your channel with this team. It's like because we've seen so many different
We have,
positions.
but it's
Yeah,
like,
it's hard to get.
Ten Hag, which we've talked about before. Like Ten Hag often, he just keeps us on our toes. We don't know. Sometimes we get it right. Other times we're like, he did this, huh?
Yeah.
Like, you know, he
I think
just he just
he's
does
the
what he
new
wants to do.
Tinker Man. I think he's the new Tinker Man. Remember when I think it
I
was
think so too.
Claudio Ranieri used to be called
Yeah,
the Tinker Man at Chelsea. I think that's Ten Hag right now. He's
I think so too.
really
He's
trying to get
just,
this team settled.
first season, he's just trying to work it out. Like, who do I still want to, because like 80% of this squad isn't even his, right? Or more than that, actually. So he's just trying to figure out who can I rely on, who just isn't it, who's the dead wood that I gotta get rid of. So he's trying to, you know, make work with what he has at this
Yeah,
point. But yeah, I would say maybe a Sabitzer though, because
yeah,
that is a few days rest. That would work, wouldn't it?
yeah. So yeah, okay. I think that team's looking all right so far. And then
Yeah,
obviously the two centre backs pick themselves, don't they? I mean, come on.
yeah. I mean,
Shaw and Lindelof, the new tag
Schrodish.
team champions. Come
Yeah,
on.
Victor Lindelöf, the
Yeah,
Viking, the Iceman.
yeah.
He's
I never knew you had that nickname, that Iceman. I like it. I mean,
I like
Stone
that too.
Cold.
Yeah.
Uh, on the right, yeah. Come on.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, you've got his picture on the thumbnail, so
yeah, because I want to see, like, I'm excited to see that. Basically, the showdown between right, Mitoma and Wan-Bissaka. That
yeah,
to me is just oof, because he
yeah.
really had him on the wraps. But when it comes to, okay, so the left back, do you think it would potentially be Dalot, or do you think it could be Balassi? Because I do feel like Balassi kind of redeemed himself in the last game against Villa.
Yeah.
He made a few fouls at the end, but overall the tackles was there. He looked good. So do you think that he will get renewed? Um, like, okay, let me keep you here for another
Yeah,
game.
I mean that's a good thing to do, isn't it? Is to keep the
Yeah,
momentum of someone's
yeah.
confidence,
People
especially
confidence
when
as well. Like trust that you
yeah,
did well. I'm gonna reward you again.
exactly. And he's done well. He's done well to have that good game since
Yeah,
he messed up against Sevilla in the first leg. That was really was a bad mistake. Kind of Maguire
yeah,
level. So
yeah,
for
yeah,
him to have a
yeah.
good game against Villa, I think Ten Hag's going to try and keep the confidence going for this kid. So yeah, I can
I
see him
think so too.
starting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, what does this let Dalot play left back? I mean, he can. Once again, he can. But
yeah.
I kind of would, like I said, rewarding good performance. Why not? I wouldn't think that that's a bad thing. And if needs be, if you need a bit more attacking and whatnot, then you can bring Dalot because he can play as the left back. We've seen that. So yeah, you never shone so brightly. Says LOL. Why not Maguire, the captain? How about no? He's not our captain. Okay, number one.
I mean, I've heard in his that he's got a clause in his contract that still requires him to play certain games. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I've just heard through the rumor mill. But if that's the case, we may see him get forced into this team. Like he might, or he might force his way into this team because of
Speaking of,
that
did you
captain
did
thing.
you you know hear the news? What was it last week or whatnot? I think it might have been before the Villa game, where Marcos Rojo, remember, like he came with an interview saying like he was, what was it? When he used to play for us and whatnot, and he went to Solskjaer's office and was like, yo, I want to play. Like, why do you play Maguire and whatnot? Like, he was calling him son of a B word. I was like, oh my
Was
god.
he?
Yes, he called Ole Gunnar Solskjaer son of a B word because he wasn't being played. And Solskjaer said, yeah, but we have to play him because he costs too much money.
Oh wow.
I was like, my fellow Norwegian, I love
Uh,
you, Ole, but that's horrible. I knew there was a reason why he kept being played over and over, even though he just wasn't it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
it's weird. It's weird when he's come on and then like he's played for 5 minutes and we still give him the captain's armband. It's like
Yeah,
what leadership you do in the last 5 minutes? I mean,
exactly.
you can be like in terms of organizing the defense a little bit, but once you've
Yeah.
got your instructions for 85 minutes, like you don't need the
It's
extra
like,
captain
come on
to
now.
come on
Like,
and be
what?
posing, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that's
Exactly.
not true that he has to get some more game time because it just spoils the chemistry of Shaw and Lindelof. And
Yeah,
hey, against Brighton, we can't be making mistakes.
we
I've said
can't.
I've trolled Maguire before, and I've said he's probably going to be one of those defenders that creates the stat of expected mistakes per game. You know how we have expected goals, like
Oh my,
Maguire is
expected
expected mistakes.
mistakes. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
hey,
you
because
can't
you
see that.
often be having like you just be stressed when you see him having the ball and being like, okay, what is he gonna do now and whatnot. Often, like sometimes he do still be okay. Like it's not like he's shit all the time,
Yeah,
but he's just not it with what we want to do for now and in the future. If we want to progress as a team and as a club, he can't be here. He has to go. Thank you for your service, but bye bye. That's
yeah,
literally the mindset that I have. You never Sean. So Brightly says Shaw looks good at center back. I have to say, oh yeah, 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 yeah. The fact
yeah.
that you have a left back that is now being played as a center back, even though we have a center back, that says a lot. That's when you, if I was Maguire, I like to call him Maggie. If I was Maggie, I would look myself in the mirror and be like, you know what? Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the issue.
But we know his ego. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't. I don't think he has the self awareness. I
yeah. No
I
one
don't think
doesn't.
anyone's even telling him. Anyone that's in his camp is humbling him and telling him, okay, I think you need to go towards your level again. Like go back to a Leicester or somewhere and be playing that low block football. It's like remember when you were saying I forgot when it was, but you were saying like I've been picked by every manager that's come to Man United
Yes.
since I've started there, and it's like yeah, but there's been certain
Like
things, certain
what?
situations where you've had to be picked because you cost 80 million, and because
Right?
you're captain and all that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also recently, like also saw some like what was it reports like Maguire, he feels like he doesn't, he since he played over 200 games and whatnot, like he gets picked by England, for the England
yeah,
squad and whatnot. There's no, I don't need to improve myself, and I'm like, yo, like even a player like Messi or Ronaldo and whatnot, they will still think, somebody that's won everything, you will still be like, what can I do to keep improve myself to get even better.
yeah.
I don't think there's ever really a point in your career where you should be like there isn't anything else for me to do unless you like maybe won everything
Exactly.
and whatnot. But sometimes you would want to go to other leagues and you would want to do you know what I'm saying. I just I don't get how he can have that mindset when he's won one thing and that's the Carabao Cup. Like shush, stop it.
And it's really weird because like he barely played games in that competition. I'm trying to remember when he was really instrumental for us. I
Yeah.
mean, in the final, what did he actually play? I don't think he actually played in the final, did he?
Oh, he
Did
came
he?
in the last few minutes. He came in.
Okay, last few
Yeah, I
minutes.
remember. Mhm.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I don't want to be too negative, but like seeing him like as a captain lifting the cup, and like we knew who was really putting in the real effort. Like it was
Oh yeah, yeah,
Bruno.
yeah. Of
Bruno was
course.
putting in the main effort as a captain.
Yeah.
So Maguire should not have been like there, like pretending like, oh yeah, I really did something to
Hey,
be getting Man
part of
United
it.
the first cup
Oh,
in 4 or 5 years. It's like no,
exactly.
it
But
wasn't
also,
about you.
did you? I don't know if you noticed, but I saw like there was, after the when we did play Brighton in the, the last time in the FA Cup semifinal, and right before the when we, the penalty shootout started, there was a clip circulating where Bruno obviously wasn't participating in the penalty shootout. He was subbed off before them, but he was kind of giving like pep talk to the other players, right?
Yeah,
And then you see Maguire just in the background, just standing there.
I didn't even see him. I didn't even
I
notice him.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it until people were basically reposting that clip, and I was like, oh my god, somebody it was like a caption, you know who's the real captain at this point, right? Because you
Mm,
have somebody that's being very vocal, giving everybody a pep talk, even though he's not even playing, he's not doing anything, for the penalty shootout, but he's just
yeah,
trying to lift the mood and make sure that give them a bit of confidence. But you just
yeah.
see Maguire, and it's not us trying to, there's no agenda here, but I'm just saying it's important to if you're going to be a captain, You
yeah,
kind of need to also have those attributes, I think.
yeah,
Picking other people up. I don't know.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
my opinion.
I don't like dislike this. I don't like disliking what should be the captain of our
Exactly.
club, right? That should be the guy that you're supporting the most. But this guy's been literally. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to keep going into it, but we've seen all of the mistakes, all of the lack of charisma. It's like it's no. There's no wonder that he gets a lot of criticism. So he's got to realize that he's not the guy, and
Yeah.
hopefully we do see him go so we can stop talking on criticizing them. It's like it's kind of old now,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
feel like I agree with you, Eddie. It's
Yeah,
getting at this point it's getting old. Like, when you be seeing what was it, Van Dyke, the whole, after what was it, Perisic
heritage.
completely nutmeg. He just
Yeah.
right. And it was it. I think it was an Arabic commentator who said like Van Maguire.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Before then, when Upamecano did a madness against City, the Bayern Munich and Man City mashup in the Champions League, he was calling Upamecano Upamaguire. So, oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God, this is what when people are taking a piss out of your name, brother.
This is
This is
professionals at
yeah,
trolling. Like we can't have
no,
professionals trolling players at our club. We're an esteemed, high level club. We shouldn't have any more banter like this. We've been through the banter last season. All of this has got
exactly.
to be, we've got to shed all of this rubbish and get serious again.
Yeah, it's
So,
like, oh,
wow,
this is
Upper
getting
Maguire, that is crazy.
that is Van Maguire. I'm like,
And Van
nah,
Maguire.
brother. That is just no, no. At that point, I would be like, nope, I gotta go because this ain't it. This ain't it.
Uh,
Let me read some of the comments here. We have gotten a few questions over here. Big up to AD seven
oh,
four four. Big up to you. And Evan says we have to overload the midfield tomorrow if we want to win. Hey, yes,
mm,
that point has been raised, and I agree. Daily Text says I changed my mind about Kane. If he can score those kind of goals, 20 plus. Currently, he is at 25 goals. I mean, you guys, some of you guys know where I'm with Kane. I wouldn't mind seeing a Harry Kane, to the red side of Manchester. There's other people that's been here on the channel, choppers and especially Nathan is not, Eddie,
yeah. I
Nathan,
remember this
yeah,
guy is a serious Veghorst fan for some reason. So, and then, oh yeah, I remember what Nathan was saying about even like criticizing Kane's interviewing skills. Like
yeah.
the agenda is ridiculous,
The
right? I mean,
agenda is agendaing,
we
but
just
yeah,
need to
no, no, no.
upgrade. We need to upgrade on what we got. I mean, Kane. I mean, we said it before as well, Sophia. I mean, if we bring him in, we got to have an understudy that can be learning from him. So when he burns out, we've got an understudy that can try and fill his boots anyway. Because like we get Kane for a couple of years, and he burns out, we're just stuck for like another forward. So be good to get
Yeah,
someone in that's learning from him, like as an understudy.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, I agree because Kane is for now, but we also do need somebody for the future. So if you get somebody that's for the future and whatnot, but if you get a Kane, you gotta have somebody that can offloading offload him here and there in certain games, certain maybe cup games and whatnot. But that, like you said, Eddie, to learn off of him because the guy
yeah,
is a goal scoring machine. Come on now. He just needs some to go to a different workplace, a new. He needs something fresh, and we
yeah.
can
I mean, he's been
help him
wanting to
out.
leave for a few seasons now. We
Yeah,
know that Kane's agent, which was I think it used to be his brother. He wasn't doing good deals from him. He signed that contract where he just had to, he just had to stay. So it's got to get to a point where I mean, I don't really support players forcing moves because like, you have to be professional at the end of the day. But Kane's got to look out for his career. He's got to win something. You can't be this top scorer and you're winning nothing.
yeah.
Oh,
Because I'm
somehow
not
force
happy that
yourself up.
nobody's gonna be like. Let's be honest. You're not gonna, in 20, 30 years from now, it'll be okay, awesome with breaking the record, being the most goal
Yeah,
scoring, top goal scorer and whatnot in the league. Okay, thumbs up. But where's the trophies, brother? Where is the trophies? You have to also have the trophies to show for it. You know, I think that's important. So if
yeah. I mean,
there's still time, we
Kane's
gotta
got to
do
think
something.
about when he's retired as well. I mean, you don't just want like these awards for top scorer. You want you want to remember that big trophy that you got your hands on, that big silverware. Stuff that you can tell your children about. Because I'm sure football players are like that too. They'll want to have that nostalgia that they
Yeah,
win
like
big
imagine like
honors
you have
as
your
well
trophy
as
cap, you have the
achievements.
medals and whatnot. Come on. When people search your name, Kane, do you not want to see Kane, two-time, three-time Premier League winner,
Hmm.
one time or two, maybe two-time Champions League? You know what
Yeah,
Kane, let's help you help us win trophies.
yeah.
Come on now. Big up to Football Power Hour, says my
We
two
got
favorite
power
people on
hour.
YouTube. Big love to
Yes,
you. People, make sure you do subscribe to his channel. He's great. Great.
yeah, he's
Wonderful.
got jokes, he's got the memes like you
Yes.
do as well. So I mean, he's doing his
It's
thing as well.
100% fellow United supporters. So come on now, show some love. Show some love. Ozan says he wants to break Ellen Shearer's record. So no, I get
Hmm.
that, but you can do that, but also get trophies. A lot of people, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't be a problem to try to do that as well. But it won't happen if he still stays at Spurs.
Yeah, I think people say that kind of point when he's been linked to like going to the likes of Bayern Munich. Like then people are thinking, oh no, Kane's going to stay in the Prem so we can, smash that record and obviously try and win, a major trophy at like a Man United or dare I say a Man City. I don't think they'll need them anymore because they've got Haaland, so that's good. So yeah, next
They also
place
got Alvarez,
for
so
Man
it's
United.
like either Man United, Chelsea potentially, as
Who?
Poches
Who's that?
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I
You
don't
mean
know.
that team that's pushing for
No,
relegation?
not that I'm saying, but I don't think he would go. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go for him.
Wow, good luck. Good luck
Good
with
luck
what's going on
indeed.
there.
I would say we might be the strongest contenders here. In my, I think we might be if you really want him, you got to try to make it happen. And also, he needs to try to push for it as well. Like, brother, you've been lied to by Daniel Levy and whatnot, and them guys. Come, just come. You know,
Yeah.
that's all. Let me read some of the comments here before we predict tomorrow's game. Bart has a question here. How many Brighton players will get into United's current 11? I
Oh,
would take four, says Bart.
that's a good question,
Ooh, that is a
There's
good
quite a
question,
few
Bart.
Brighton players I like, Obviously, Mitoma, I mean, he
I
gets
will
into the
Matoma.
team.
Casado.
Oh, Casado, yeah, Casado, Mitoma.
Yeah,
These are guys that we should have, like people that can
we
carry the
should.
ball,
I agree.
Because Mitoma is just like, when I watch him dribble, I'm like, okay, we've got Rashford, he can do it sometimes.
Yeah,
Sancho, a little bit. Anthony, he needs a lot of work on the dribbling,
yeah.
that kind of ball rolling stuff he does is weird. So yeah, Mitoma, Casado.
Trying to think
There's,
who
I
else.
think there's at least another player that I'd take.
And
Um,
McAllister.
McAllister. I was gonna
But I'm
say
trying to
maybe
think where.
Enciso, but I've not seen enough of
I
him. He's had
haven't
a
seen
few good
enough
games.
from him.
Yeah,
I would take McAllister actually.
McAllister. Where is he actually? McAllister plays holding midfield or attacking mid. Then is it like you
Isn't
can
he
play
more
both?
like an attacking, potentially both? I feel like I've seen him
Yeah,
more as an attacking mid, in my opinion.
yeah. Because I've seen him holding midfielder a bit more recently when I've seen him.
Yeah,
But yeah, McAllister's a good shout as well because like
yeah.
he's got that
For me,
technical
like off the
ability.
bat, would be like three players at least that I would say like, okay, they would definitely add something uh, to the
Maybe
team.
maybe Sanchez when he's been fit, he's been a good shot stopper. I think his
Mm.
distribution's been all right as well.
I
But
would have said that at the beginning. Now I'm like, when we played,
uh,
I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know,
yeah.
I don't know. That
But
might
anyway,
be
yeah,
my
but
BDG
definitely,
agenda, but hey, that
yeah.
might be my bias there, but
But yeah, definitely taking Caicedo and Mitoma. I think those are ironclad to get into Man United's team. Uh,
Yes. Ooh. Roger said, would you take James Madison over? Wait, you
uh,
mentioning Madison? Okay, okay. Okay, I'm gonna, assume. Okay, over McAllister. Ah, okay. Would you take
yeah,
him back? Yeah,
okay,
I don't know if you noticed, but I think was it yesterday or before that? But we've been linked to Madison again. Would you take James
right.
Madison to Man United? Because I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I remember talking in a Man United chat with this one of my friends called Matthew Bassett, and he was saying he'd be a good backup to Bruno. I'm thinking, if we're really going to be getting towards the top of football again, competing in Champions League, we've got to look for like an upgrade on Bruno. Dare I say it? I mean, we got Bruno as captain, but I still think we can have someone that's more technically suited to,
Hey,
like,
fair.
holding the ball, because we want to hold the ball in the possession game that Ten Hag's trying to do. And Bruno sometimes he can do it. Sometimes he's on a bit of a kind of cowboy level where he's
Yeah.
gunslinging. He's just
Cowboy,
trying
that's
to get
funny,
in the
man.
hero balls all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
but anyway,
He,
coming back
yeah,
to
I
the
get that.
question,
Yep,
Madison he's very good. He's very good. I like the way he can carry the ball. He's got good long
same.
shooting. Take some
Yep.
free kicks as well.
There's something interesting
Um,
with Madison. He needs that another move, especially now that Leicester potentially could get relegated.
yeah,
Maybe we could raid the Leicester team. I think we should go for trying to, see if we can bring some players from the teams that might get relegated.
yeah.
If Southampton maybe moves down, I would love to get a Lavia maybe as
Yeah,
like a
he's good.
backup for like Roger said, backup DM. For me, I'm thinking like if Lavia could be a backup for Casemiro. I'm not saying like that's
Mm,
the level, but like a young aspiring,
yeah,
you know
yeah, I
that's
get what you mean. But just
yeah,
going back to Madison, how much do you think you would go for? Because I would take him actually, because I like his personality as well. You need
I
that
like
kind of personality. He's confident player. Wants to
yes,
express himself as well.
yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know. I mean, English. Ooh.
English
I
text.
Yeah, I don't know how much he has left of his contract. That's also something
Yeah,
that you need to take into question as well. But
and then we got the relegation tax. We got to submit that from
hey,
the
relegation
English
tax,
tax.
love that. That's true.
So I don't know,
I
maybe
might,
what, 20 m's, 30 m's,
gee,
maybe.
why do I feel like that would be? You sure? Would that be more?
That's too much.
No, no, no. I would say we would
Oh,
have
I
to
gotta be
pay
higher.
more.
Yeah, I can't tell the market now. The
Yeah,
market
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
is
I would say like I wouldn't be surprised if they say 50.
50. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, like
wow.
Russia
That's good.
says 50, 60. I'm telling
Oh,
you, it's mad out here. It's mad
yeah.
out here, Eddie.
'Cause I was just gonna say, like, the market is just, it's so subjective now,
Yeah,
where
it's so
people can just
saturated
they
and
just
just
stipulate what kind of price they want instead of having a relative price to the market. Like, for 50, 60 m's though. See, this is where it
yeah.
depends on whether we're gonna get this takeover, which obviously is dragging on. So
Speaking of
obviously, if we get that
takeover, what do
Qatar
you
money,
think about that though? The takeover? Do you like, there's been okay, um, Sir Ratcliffe is in the forefront. Do you believe that, or do you think Sheikh
I've
Yassim is lurking?
I've got a bad feeling, and I've said it on my own videos. I'm a kind of guy that is, I do tend to be pessimistic sometimes, and then I
I
try and
tend to be
balance
that
that
as
with
well.
realism, right?
Yeah,
But like, I feel pessimistic because of what the Glazers have put us through, right?
yeah,
So I'm
that's
thinking
fair.
they've still got some tricks in their bag
Yep,
where we've seen that would be a good trick to just sell half of the club so you can stay there as like what should be minority stakeholders, but apparently
yep.
their shares give them more power than the shares they've sold. So what kind of, like, these kind of tricks that they do is ridiculous. So I can see them staying and having Jim just come and bring some investment money, basically,
Maybe.
and then the Glazers will be able to stay there and still call some shots. They may even try and get the Super League going again. Like
Oh Lord have
Joel
mercy.
Glazer was supposed to be the chairman, wasn't he? One of the chairmen of that. So they may still
Oh,
see some more cash in the long run. I know if they sold the whole club, they can just take, what is it, 6 billion and run off into the sunset. But if they're going to take um, what Ratcliffe is proposing, which is higher money, right, for lower shares, it's like that kind of seems like something they would do.
what
So
sneaky
um,
man.
it's
That
really
guy.
sneaky. So I think they're going to do the deal with Jim Ratcliffe.
You
I
think
think they're
so?
going to do
I
it.
have a feeling that there's a lot of like, PR spins out here. I don't know if I believe it, man, because there's so many
Yeah.
different conflicting reports. So for me, I'm just still trying to be, you know, I'm trying to be a bit optimistic. which is very unlike me because I tend to be very pessimistic myself. But I don't know. I just have a feeling. I don't know. I'm just gonna be waiting. That's all I'm gonna say. I just, you know, I don't know. It was
Mm.
Kasper Schmeichel, the former, the goalkeeper and captain for Leicester. He plays for Nice, which is Sir Jim Ratcliffe's, you know,
Yeah,
the team that he's a owner for, right?
yeah,
But he's been like, yeah, the reason, one of the reasons why I went to Nice is because of, Ineos group and whatnot. You are talking mad PR shit. That is bull
yeah.
crap. That is not the reason why you came to Nice. Because of Ineos. Because of Sergi Ratcliffe's group. Get out of here.
But
I'm
what was
telling
the
PR.
reasoning? What's the reasoning though? Like,
Like, I mean,
well, so that was just the reason. That's what he said. Like, he
no,
didn't
no,
go
no, he was
deeper.
kind of like backing that up, like, a reason to why, like, Man United should, why Sergi Ratcliffe would be a good fit for Man United. I haven't seen the exact stuff, but like a
Yeah.
certain quote, especially with him saying, Ineos. Mm, no,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like
That
it.
just
Yeah.
sounds like PR then, because
I'm
I'm not hearing
telling you,
any depth into. Okay, why is Ineos good? What? So they got money. What else? Because you need to know how to spend the money well. You need to have knowledge of how to build a structure or help a structure at Man United. We know the structure at Man United is very flawed with John Murto and Darren Fletcher. So, it's going to be hard for. I'm going to be honest. It's going to be hard for me to keep like supporting as much as I do now if we're going to see the same structure of
yeah,
John Murto like messing about
exactly.
with like De Jong transfers, taking half of the window to do that.
Mimosas and whatnot in Barcelona. Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's a
Like
shit
we
show.
need better decision making because
We
we
do.
should never have been wasting time with Barcelona, who are a dodgy
I agree.
club. If you've got a
Yeah,
dodgy club, yeah, with players that are owed money, yeah. Sorry for me, I just think okay, no matter how good De Jong is, you move on quick because you wasted
yeah,
a lot
because
of
you don't
time.
want to make that like a long dragged out transfer saga. For me, the next thing I would want, hopefully new owners and whatnot, and preferably it will be Sheikh Yassim, the Qataris and whatnot. But regardless of what happens, I would hope that all the transfer will be done so that everybody's ready to go for preseason because
Yeah,
I want to see like a mesh team use preseason so that Ten Hag can figure stuff out. It
mm,
can't be new players coming in and we've already played 2 3 games already, and then you're gonna throw them. It just doesn't
yeah,
know. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? I
yeah.
think I
I've
think stuff
just
like that is
like
important.
overall, I've just got a suspicion that, like I said, they'll do the Glazers will do the deal with Jim Ratcliffe, right? And I don't think we will hear much from the Glazers. We'll just see like Jim Ratcliffe as like a puppet. I reckon he'll just be on puppet strings, and
Yeah,
like
he'll
anything that
just
goes
be.
wrong, he'll
Yeah,
just be the guy to like take all the
exactly.
criticism, all
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He'll be the
Um,
face of that. I'll take the criticism. While the Glazers just be, he'll
yeah.
be there. Ugh.
But I'm wondering though, if the Glazers do this deal, what is their plan to placate the fan base, to calm the fan base down? Because we've seen there's protests, but obviously we know protests, even though policing's got a bit more stringent on what protests you can do, there still is the possibility of like riots happening. So I,
Yes.
do the Glazers are the Glazers so sure that they can stay and be safe, and then and that the stadium won't get trashed? We saw the invasion of the stadium when they got the fans got the Liverpool Man United game called off that last time.
Yep.
People were kind of did a bit of damage, didn't they, to
Yeah.
certain parts of the stadium? So
Yep.
I just want to know what the contingency plan is, for if they
Because it could
stay.
get quite
It's
ugly, yo.
a bit messy. I'm
Yeah,
not.
it will get very, if it wasn't even toxic before, it will get way more toxic after. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much
I mean,
for sure.
I don't support like riots, obviously,
Oh no,
but
no, no, not me either. I
if
support like protest.
yeah,
Just making it. Hey,
yeah, if the Glazers can be intimidated to changing their minds on Sir Jim, then I'm for it. But within reason, I
within the
know.
key word there,
Yeah,
Eddie. Within reason, exactly. Exactly. But
Uh,
yeah, to wrap it up, because I also kind of want to check out. I mean, I do Liverpool and Fulham is playing, as
is it?
well as Man City and West Ham. So that would be interesting to
Um,
follow. But I wanted to get your prediction for tomorrow's game. Once again, I remind you, this
mm,
is a safe space, so hey, you're not getting clipped over here. But what do we think?
yeah.
This
I remember a comment. I think it was from was it Ewan was saying we need to pack the midfield, right? So I think we do that. I reckon we get Shaw to come out from centre back, help Casemiro stop Enciso. So I reckon we do contain them. I just keep thinking of what Newcastle did when we placated them in the Carabao Cup final. That hunger they came with, and that next
Yeah.
game at St James's, they put us to bed, didn't they? 2-0. But I think we are fresher than we were for that game. There's so many different variables, but I think we've had enough rest, and I would like to say a win, but I can see a draw. I reckon we get a score draw. I'm gonna go for 2-2.
That's exactly what I was gonna say as well.
Really?
Yeah, I swear, yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Parallel thinking, great minds thinking
Hey,
alike, I
yeah.
guess.
But yeah, no, yeah, no, no. I actually do think, I potentially do think it's gonna be a draw, and like 2-2 is something that I can see happening.
Mm,
I would, of course, prefer to win at this point, like we've been talking about throughout the stream. The away record isn't the best. Let's just say
yeah.
that. So I will take a draw at this point. But yeah, I just hope that we. It will be great though if we win. Oh, that would be big. That would be big.
Yeah.
So I hope we do.
Especially after they've won 6-0, it'll be great to go there and get a result. I mean, they're
Exactly.
going to be so confident. So I don't know what people are saying in the comments though, but uh, it's going to be hard to get a win there against these guys.
Yeah. 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 John Tracy says we have to have more energy than Brighton. Pulling on a United shirt means you have to be up for every game and go out to win. I fancy a 2-1 or 3-1. Really? Okay, now Daily takes his 3-1 to United.
Wow.
Wow.
There's some
Hey,
confidence going on here.
love
I like I
that.
like the optimism.
Love it, love it, love it.
Mm,
Usually, like I also be like, hey, yeah, I think we can win. We can. I just am not sure because we are all over the place when it comes to, once again, when we are away,
mm.
we're not consistent. We're not. So I can't sit here and say that we 100, but no, I can't, people. I have to be honest. A draw is something that I can see it happening. But yeah, we will see. But big up everybody. Thank you all for being here for this live match preview. Thank you, Eddie, for taking your time off to be here. It was great. It just flew by the hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been fun. Yeah, the time's gone quick as well. And yeah, it's always like I said at the start of this stream, it's always a good vibe when I come on this channel. So yeah, thanks for having me on. And yeah, man, big up to everyone in the chat as well, man. Like it's always interesting comments, interesting questions as well. So yeah, big up to everyone.
Big up to everyone. And we just got ourselves a super chat. Big up to the Crazy
Oh,
Irishman Football. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Says, hey, Sophia, I'm going Brighton nil, Man United 4.
wow.
Brother, whatever you are eating and drinking, give me some. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, hey. And then Deletech, who is a member, says, if this is correct, I'm awarding memberships. Hey, come on now.
Wow.
Crazy Irishman, I will remember this. If this is real, Deletech just said here that, memberships will be awarded by Deletech. So, hey, big up. Guys, make sure you do subscribe to Eddie's YouTube channel. Okay, it is Footy Waffle. I have put it in the description box below, so just click on it, show him some love. He makes great content. Okay, his animation, top tier, top
Oh,
tier.
thank you, thank
Just
you.
real talk, like brother, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing great. So thumbs up to you. Big
Yeah,
up.
thanks again. Thanks. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, doing the content that I do. So yeah, just come and show some love. It's free to watch. Obviously, like
Here it.
Sophia's kind of stuff. It's free. It's entertaining. So just hit the like and subscribe.
Yeah, I second that. Yeah, for sure. Somebody did ask earlier. Connor says, "Are you doing the Man City match or not?" I have no place to watch it. Oh, fam, today just a match preview for this one, but I will be back with watch alongs on Saturday. I'm actually gonna do a Roma versus Inter because the Milan derby in the Champions League is coming next Wednesday, I think. So I was thinking, why not, follow my second team Inter and then Marina's Roma. That would be interesting. So yeah, but I'm not doing watch along for this one, unfortunately.
That's going
So
to be a hard game, by the way, because
yeah,
I think you remember Roma beat you guys, beat Inter at in the first game.
I think they might
Yeah,
have. Yeah,
Roma
yeah,
won away from home. I think that's the only real big game they've won this season. I mean, people saying, "Oh, the return of Jose because he's taken his team to, Europa semi-finals and he's battling for top four." If you look at the teams he's playing, Inter Milan is like the biggest team he's beat, and he's got like draws. He even lost to bottom of the league,
yeah.
twice.
And potentially,
But
he could maybe win the Europa League. He's still
probably
in
could.
it.
I don't know if he gets past Juve. I think they got Bayer Leverkusen, isn't it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. So potentially, I mean, I think because I was thinking, like, when we were still in it, I was thinking maybe it could be a Man United Roma final, but
I would have
maybe
loved that. Yeah,
it could be a Juve Roma final
yeah. Um,
or Sevilla.
Yeah, I just don't because Bayer Leverkusen, I think they got Xabi Alonso as the manager, isn't it?
He's been doing
Yeah.
well. Yep.
So I've heard he's been like it always seems with like the Spanish coaches, man. They just have this
There's
culture,
something.
these tactics that
Yeah.
they want to monopolize the ball. They want to play good football. So I don't know. I don't think Jose can keep parking the because that's what he does. He parks the bus and counters. I don't think he can keep doing that to win the competition. So yeah, I don't see that. I don't see him winning the Europa. He could do it. I don't know.
Could do it. Would
Yeah,
be interesting though. I kind of want
yeah.
it. It would be nice. I mean, Smalling, Matic, go ahead. Win the Europa League. Why not? Because the others is like, yeah, Sevilla, after we got slapped up, but no. Juve, no, no, no. Roma, go ahead. Or Bayer Leverkusen, I wouldn't mind. But yeah,
Yeah.
Casey said that he did sub to
Oh,
you, by the way,
thank
Eddie. So
you.
you got a new subscriber. Once again, people, do subscribe to Eddie. All right? Make sure you do that. But guys, we gotta go. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully, Man United do win tomorrow. But
Hopefully,
hey, you know, we will take what we get. But we're gonna manifest a win for tomorrow, even though we did
man.
predict the draw. But
Fingers
hey,
crossed.
yeah, 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 100%. But guys, have a lovely day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Are you all right? Yes. No, you are all left.